ARK Invest has just released their new Tesla stock price target. Elon said they have been the most accurate predictors of the value of Tesla, and their new Tesla stock price target is $2,600 per share in 2029. Their bull case is $3,100 and the bear case is $2,000 per share. ARK Invest remains strongly bullish, and without autonomy, ARK Invest says a Tesla stock will be worth $350 in 2029, to which they assign a 1% probability, but there's also a 1% probability based on their calculations a Tesla stock would be close to $6,000 per share. ARK estimates that nearly 90% of Tesla's enterprise value and earnings will be attributed to the robotaxi business in 2029, as shown below. Electric vehicles could approximate a quarter of total sales and 10% of Tesla's earnings potential, as we believe the robotaxi business will have much higher margins. In 2029, ARK Invest believes that in the bear case, Tesla will sell 5.8 million EVs, which is basically Morgan Stanley's base case. In the bull case, 14.4 million, so in the base case, probably about 10 million. Percent of simulations indicating first year robotaxi commercialization. 2025, 58%. 2026, 38%. 2027, 4%. So ARK Invest is extremely confident that before 2028 starts, FSD and robotaxis are going to be commercialized. Elon Musk himself is curious to read the full report from ARK Invest. The more I think about robotaxis and humanoid robots, the more absurd the valuation becomes. I don't even see anything about the Optimus bot in the ARK Invest report, but they point out that Tesla is accumulating data at 110x the rate of Waymo. This is what it means. You won't even see the competition with a telescope. I don't see Cruise. I can see a bit of Waymo and a bit of Baidu, but no Cruise. ARK Invest writes, while we push back our median launch date for Tesla's robotaxi service by 1 year, we remain confident that the service will launch within the next 5 years. With the release of Full Self-Driving V12, Tesla transitioned to a neural network that learns from video data and directly controls the vehicle, eliminating over 300,000 lines of manual code. This update has enabled human-like and in some instances zero-intervention driving. When my drives are under 15 minutes, I regularly experience zero interventions unless I go downtown during rush hour. And I'm not in California, I'm in Canada. James disagrees that Tesla stock in 2029 would only be worth $350 if robotaxis do not launch. ARK Invest writes, this year we fine-tuned our analysis to include the assumption that initially Tesla will own and operate its vehicle network, retaining all revenue per mile for the first 1 to 3 years. They are talking about robotaxis. For later years, we assume that third-party companies will own and maintain the vehicle fleet, earning 20 cents per mile for their services, while the remainder of revenue per mile accrues to Tesla. In effect, Tesla's take rate is 80% on average. Furthermore, our research suggests that a Tesla in FSD mode is 5 times safer than a human-driven Tesla shown below, and 16 times safer than an average car on the road. No longer constrained by AI training compute, Tesla's accelerated software updates are enhancing performance and safety. As a result, Tesla should be able to demonstrate superior statistically significant safety metrics and receive regulatory approval for its robotaxi network. I don't think this is going to be a fully accurate comparison because, for example, I think most people, when they go to downtown, they are not going to turn on FSD because there are just too many disengagements or interventions. But when the difference is that big, I think it's pretty fair to say that, yeah, overall it's safer to drive with FSD on than without it. And I do realize occasionally that sometimes FSD just sees things like a millisecond before I see them. Like, oh, why are you slowing down? Oh, it's because there's a car that's coming into the intersection and is going really fast. But to be fair, I do have quite a few moments where I'm like, why are you doing this? And I cannot explain why. So while overall it is safer looking at this data, comfort-wise, there are still many weird moments. But it's getting better fast. I'm really looking forward to trying the new FSD version when the bugs are sorted out. Our confidence in Tesla's ability to launch a robotaxi network within the next 5 years has increased considerably. As a result, its business model should transform from one-off vehicle sales to a recurring revenue base as every car becomes an AI-powered cash flow generation machine. ARK Invest also believes that the custom-built Cybercab reflects increased confidence that its autonomy software will allow Tesla to scale the robotaxi business. In our expected value case, after a flat to up year in 2024, vehicle production increases 45% per year through year-end 2029. After this year, we expect that Tesla's ability to scale will be a function of management bandwidth and Tesla's ability to open new factories. As production scales from 1.8 million units per year today to 6 to 16 million per year, the law of large numbers should lead to lower growth rates. Robotaxis likely ease manufacturing scaling by simplifying vehicle designs as well as generating additional capital from highly cash flow generative rides. We also expect that most robotaxis will be sold to fleet owners rather than to individuals, potentially simplifying the sales funnel. ARK Invest has many considerations that are not key drivers of their price estimates. Number one is Optimus. We assume that Optimus will have minimal impact on our price target over the next decade. We expect Tesla to become a leading manufacturer and service provider of robots that move through physical space, as it will have the opportunity to leverage learnings from robotaxis as well as its in-house inference chips, training compute, and manufacturing scale. Tesla expects Optimus to be completing useful factory tasks by year end, assuming that it were able to subsume 10 to 20% of Tesla's labor hours, worked with productivity equal to or twice that of its human counterparts. Optimus could save Tesla 3 to 4 billion or 1 to 2% in manufacturing costs in 2029. Our research suggests that generalizable humanoid robots represent a 24 trillion global revenue opportunity at scale, 50% in manufacturing. Should it decide to sell Optimus externally, Tesla could capture a significant share of this multi-trillion-dollar market, though the meaningful commercialization ramp is likely to happen beyond the 5 years captured in this model. Stationary energy storage. We estimate that Tesla's stationary energy storage growth will outpace its vehicle growth, accommodating 850 gigawatt hours of energy in 2029. If batteries are a limiting factor, however, Tesla is likely to prioritize robotaxis to generate higher return on investment as shown below. So it's not so much that ARK Invest does not believe in Tesla's energy business, it's more that they believe so much in robotaxis that they say, why would Tesla put any batteries in the energy business and not in the robotaxi business? You put it in a robotaxi and you make $466 per kilowatt hour. You put it in an energy storage mega pack product and you only make $16. And here are things that are completely not included in the model. Tesla Semi. Tesla plans to commercialize the Semi in 2026. We do not believe that Tesla Semi will contribute significantly to Tesla's value within our 5-year investment time horizon. But if you're not putting robotaxis in your model, then I think it's something you should definitely model, and it adds up. Even if the supercharger network were to continue growing at current rates and its utilization were to increase from 11% on average to the 34% typical of gas stations, the financial impact on our price target would pale in comparison to the scaling of Tesla's robotaxi business. So overall, I don't disagree with ARK Invest here, but I do include supercharging in my Tesla valuation model. They don't include it at all. Next, this one is gonna surprise some people. FSD licensing is not included in ARK Invest's valuation model. Tesla currently is in discussions to license its FSD software to one automaker, while potentially a monumental event for Tesla based on traditional automotive design to production timelines. Non-Tesla FSD equipped vehicles probably will not debut for years. Likely, even if an automaker makes a deal with Tesla today, it would take something like 3 years for that vehicle to be released and actually be in customers' hands. Even so, much like over-the-air updates, automakers might trial FSD on select vehicle models, perhaps prioritizing electric drivetrains, which recently have pulled back on traditional auto production schedules. That said, our research suggests that FSD licensing is unlikely to move the needle on Tesla's revenue or earnings during the next 5 years. However, if you look out 10 years ahead, I think it's seriously unwise to not include FSD licensing in a Tesla valuation model. AI as a service is also not included. Tesla's plans to offer distributed AI inference as a service and dojo training as a service probably is outside our 5-year investment horizon. While integrating distributed inference as a service into personally owned vehicles could present challenges like unstable Wi-Fi connectivity and bottlenecks in scheduling during owner downtime, a robotaxi fleet could address some of these issues. A big shout out goes to ARK Invest for putting this research together. I am a bit surprised though that they put this out right before we know the results of the shareholder vote. So they basically, I think, are saying it's not really that important which way it goes. Tesla got it. It's going to solve autonomy. For the last 3 months now, Cathie Wood and Tasha Keeney and everyone from ARK Invest have been talking about this new Tesla stock price target, and we have been waiting for such a long time. They could have just waited 2 more days to publish this, and it's probably not the smartest move in terms of trying to get attention to yourself because everyone is talking about this today, but tomorrow, everyone is going to be talking about the shareholder vote, and many people will sort of forget about ARK Invest. Whereas if they published this research, let's say, coming Monday, people would be talking about this for probably at least a week. Right now, Tesla is very, very roughly at about $100 billion in revenue per year. ARK Invest projects that in 2029, Tesla could be at $1.35 trillion in revenue per year. So Tesla made this long pulse and there's a surprise at the end. This is everything that Tesla has achieved since 2018 under Elon Musk's leadership. Here's 2024. Deployed 2 Optimus bots performing tasks in the factory autonomously. From Tesla, we previously heard that that was the goal to do before the end of the year. I agree with Farzad, going to guess this is an extremely limited capacity, and maybe it's not that impressive, but maybe it is impressive. We don't know because we cannot see. Either way, it's definitely not bad news, it's good news. Whoa, look at what Tesla stock is doing this morning. It's up almost 5%. A hit piece was just published by the Wall Street Journal. Elon Musk's boundary blurring relationship with women at SpaceX. The billionaire founder had sex with an employee and a former intern and asked a woman at his company to have his babies. The whole thing is behind a paywall, and it's a long article. I reviewed it on Patreon. The European Union announced they will impose additional tariffs of up to 38.1% on electric vehicles imported from China starting from July. So is Tesla impacted? Well, this ruling far exceeds all expectations because the estimates were around 20 to 30%, but the tariffs vary depending on the company. BYD is only 17.4%, Geely is 20%, and SAIC is 38.1%. Everyone else is at 38.1%, which I guess would include Tesla as well, but they can cooperate and provide data lowering the duty to 21%. So Tesla has a chance to lower its tariffs down to 21% on exported Model 3s. The Model Y we're not worried about because it is made in Giga Berlin. I would find it super weird though if Tesla actually ended up paying more than BYD. All I could find about Tesla was Tesla may receive an individually calculated duty rate at the definitive stage. Unsampled companies can explain the accuracy of the EU's findings. If no solution is found by July 4th, the new tariffs will be made official. So right now, these numbers are sort of preliminary numbers. However, at this point, it seems very likely that Tesla will have to pay higher tariffs for all vehicles made in China and imported into the European Union. Today, there's also a lot of talk about August 8th. James predicts if Tesla doesn't reveal something tangible about the car that Elon said is supposedly coming in 2025 or maybe even 2024, alongside whatever he intends to present on Robotaxi, investors will be disappointed. Tesla events are usually not very well received as expectations are typically high coming into them, but often also you see the stock rally before the event and then drop a little bit on the day of the event. Not always, but that has happened quite a few times before. Well, this is a bit surprising. Will Tesla do a phone? Morgan Stanley thinks so, despite Elon Musk saying no, Tesla will not do a phone. He said it this weekend, actually, this last weekend. But Morgan Stanley says the car is an extension of the phone is an extension of the car. The lines between car and phone are truly blurring. As Musk continues to invest further into his own large language models, such as Grok, which by the way he confirmed that Tesla will have, the potential strategic and user experience overlap becomes more obvious. What if your phone could tap into your vehicle's compute power and battery supply to run AI applications? Morgan Stanley's team asked. Well, Elon said he's not building a phone at Tesla, so I think I will believe him. I find it odd that those predicting rejection of Elon Musk's 2018 compensation plan at tomorrow's shareholder meeting cite the surge in tweets by insiders and pro-Elon supporters as evidence Tesla must be very concerned about the outcome. But first, shorts are missing that there is a huge benefit to sending a strong message to the judge that overturned the 2018 shareholder vote that even the significant new disclosures, Tesla shareholders still overwhelmingly support Elon's 2018 compensation plan. Think about the difference how the judge would react if she saw that the shareholder vote approved Elon's compensation package with a vote of, let's say, 50.1% versus, I don't know, 76% like the last time, or if the vote actually exceeds the previous 76%, that would be really good. And it would send an extremely strong message saying, hey, look, we are so happy with what happened that more of us now support Elon's compensation package than before. That would be the ideal outcome. So overwhelming support of Elon's compensation plan combined with far stronger disclosures in the proxy make it far less likely that the judge on appeal could overturn a favorable Tesla shareholder vote a second time. On what grounds would she do it this time? I'm sure she can think of something, but it would be much more difficult. Second, Tesla bears with predictions of a negative vote tomorrow routinely post analyses showing mutual funds and other institutional investors who invest actively voting 60-40 or more against Elon's 2018 pay package. But short, please explain why would an institution long Tesla stock vote against Elon's compensation plan, which would almost certainly cause Tesla shares to decline? The logic escapes me. There is one good explanation for that though: political reasons. Did you see the former president praising Elon Musk and talking very positively about him? Not too long ago, the former president was attacking Elon Musk and now he's praising him. And he said he likes electric vehicles, but you should have a choice to buy any vehicle. A big change. So I understand how some funds that don't really care about their people that are invested in the fund could still vote no because they don't want to give any political advantage to their opponent. And we know that these two met earlier this year, and supposedly Elon Musk may have some role in the administration. In the meantime, Florida's pension board voted in support of Elon Musk's compensation package, saying the plan exhibits very high levels of pay for performance. They are Tesla's 80th largest shareholder. Pension funds in California, however, are voting against Elon Musk. It's almost like if you lean one way very strongly politically, you're going to vote against Elon. Tesla's former general counsel, who helped work on Elon's 2018 compensation package, said this: the vote on the pay package for Elon Musk should be a landslide in favor. It was the most shareholder-friendly pay package ever conceived. No pay of any kind unless shareholders did better than anyone thought possible. A widely successful businessman, Patrick Bet-David, who I highly like and recommend that you watch if you care about facts and maybe not so much your feelings. He says Elon deserves every single penny of the $55 billion. He had to increase Tesla's market value from $59 to $650 billion within 10 years. Pay the man his money. Lex Fridman also is encouraging everyone to vote, saying he's one of the greatest CEOs in history. Tesla's China VP, Tao Lin, is encouraging everyone to vote in favor of Elon. She says it is hard to imagine that we would have been able to achieve these goals that Elon has achieved without Elon's wisdom, courage, and determination. Tesla has many big plans going forward, and I believe Elon's leadership will be critical for us to achieve those goals. We look forward to your vote. After Tom Zhu, she's probably the second most important person for Tesla in China, by the way. Here's another person that worked at Tesla from 2015 to 2020, who's also raving about Elon Musk. Elon was the main driving force behind all of these Tesla achievements that he mentions here. Support is pretty strong for Elon Musk among Tesla's team. Elon says thanks. Omar posted posted another drive on the latest FSD version. No interventions except for one takeover, but that was on purpose, it seems. And here's another drive, 15 minutes long, no interventions. And drives like this one over here in Canada, so not too difficult. Yeah, I frequently experience no interventions. If I don't mind getting to my destination, maybe a tiny little bit slower. I mean, at stop signs, I'm just going to go a bit faster than how slow FSD goes. A new Tesla update is going out, but it's not going to give you the latest FSD version yet. We got new numbers from China. China's BEV trend is encouraging. May was a record month with nearly 29% BEV adoption rate. So that's looking good. Last week, Tesla reported 12,000 insurance registrations in China. And the week before this one, we were at 15,000. Roland points out though that almost all brands are down this week compared to last week. Seems like we are almost definitely going to be the previous quarter, but last year's Q2 in green, that's gonna be quite a bit more difficult now. There was a 3-day holiday in China. Is that why everyone's sales were down? Oh. UAW uses layoffs to make unionization progress at Tesla. We haven't heard anything about this for quite a while now, but we know that Tesla is hiring again, so it's unlikely that this is going to go anywhere. It also really doesn't help the union that the boss is being investigated by the union's federal corruption watchdog. Tesla Model 3 performance deliveries are delayed in Canada. The delay is likely due to a delayed start of production of the new Model 3 performance at Giga Shanghai. This made me laugh. A company that advises and guides dealership owners says Tesla should partner with dealers to take Tesla into ludicrous mode. By partnering with dealers, Tesla can achieve higher profits. Elon responded, better just to buy things online. Our stores are just for test drives and answering questions. Elon Musk said he was going to ban all his employees from using Apple products at all his companies if Apple integrated OpenAI at the operating system level. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Tesla has introduced a Model Y Air mattress for $225. Seems to fit really nicely in the car, and you can store it easily too. Bad news is all the mattresses are now gone. They're all sold out. Elon Musk has dropped the lawsuit against OpenAI and Sam Altman. Elon says more will be revealed about this later, so I'm looking forward to that. Check out the new video on Patreon. This was me reviewing Wall Street Journal's hit piece about Elon's romantic relationships with staff. It's 15 minutes long, and I still skipped a few parts in the article. But the parts I skipped, I summarized. The title reads, Elon Musk's boundary blurring relationships with women at SpaceX. The billionaire founder had sex with an employee and a former intern and asked a woman at his company to have his babies. Sounds like Elon Musk is trying to do his job when it comes to increasing the Earth's population. He's taking the matters into his own hands, according to the Wall Street Journal here. Anyway, for tomorrow, there might be no video, or if I do a video, it's going to be after the shareholder vote, which would probably be much later in the day. I remember I published a video on the Investor Day more than a year ago, slightly before the event. No one watched it. If no video tomorrow, then I will at least do a very quick short video on Patreon. By joining Patreon, you will have access to all of my exclusive videos on Patreon, as well as how much I am willing to pay for each Tesla share between 2024 and 2033. If you join the investor tier, you will also have access to my valuation model, where you will see all of my assumptions, including deliveries, the energy business, Tesla's future businesses like FSD, and of course much more. And then if you want to easily download that and put in your own numbers, then this third tier is for you. To all of my Patreon supporters, thank you so much. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet as well. It's really important to like the videos because that makes it less likely that the channel will be shadow banned later, like my other big channel got shadow banned before from about 50% of my regular viewers. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.